You saw the official Rod Zapata hold up that World Heavyweight Championship. That's what this match is all about. CM Punk, who said it. He said that I need this World Championship like I need to breathe. Punk mentioning the window's closing. It's either now or never. He said, with my dying breath, I will be a world champion again. But the problem is, he's got a massive roadblock in his way. And that's the man who's actually holding the championship, the ring general Gunther. They don't call him a ring general for no reason. The big question is, what does Punk have to do to out-wrestle Gunther? As technically sound as Punk is in the ring, Gunther may just be a level above CM Punk. And Gunther still has a few more years, more than CM Punk, left in the tank. But will the veteran instincts that Punk has more years of experience over Gunther play into favor? And this is what dreams are made of. High stakes matchups. Punk, since returning, has only had a few losses. But there's something that's very scary about Gunther. As amazing as he is, it only makes him just that much better. He never stops learning, never stops evolving. He's on a day-by-day basis. The ring general always pulls out something different. Gunther and Punk trying to counter each other. Gunther perhaps looking for that sleeper to put Punk away early, but Punk able to counter. And a snapmare takedown. Gunther gets countered. The thing is, you're seeing that these two all know the tricks in the book. The back and forth and back and forth. It's counter for counter. And now it's Punk. That hammerlock is going to play into effect on the shoulder of Gunther. If he fully gets it to where he wants it, it wrenches back on the shoulder. You feel it. It's just horrible. And Gunther trying to shake some feeling back in the hand. And now they're testing each other's strength, trying to out-wrestle the other. Both of these men know how well the other is in the ring. But is Gunther going to put Punk away here? Punk bridging, keeping his shoulders off the mat. And now Gunther looks to put all of his weight. But look at the core strength of Punk. Gunther didn't get all of that first kick, but he got the second one. And a nice uppercut from the champion. Gunther, perhaps for the first time, truly finding somebody that is just as technically sound as he is inside the ring. Punk, a superstar who broke what it meant to be a traditional superstar. Punk didn't fit that mold of a Hulk Hogan, of a Rock, a John Cena. Punk did not fit that mold and had to make his own way. Meanwhile, Punk, who could only avoid it for so long, sometimes the inevitable, always rather, the inevitable means the inevitable. And a thunderous chop shocks the chest of the challenger. Gunther, his momentum gets scoured there temporarily by Punk, who starts to get these kicks. Punk rolls Gunther over as Punk now going to continue the work on the arm. Since the get-go of this match, Punk has been working on the left arm. And this is a brilliant strategy because losing strength in your arm loses the grip of the sleeper hold that Gunther likes to really use into full effect into 99% of his matches. And Punk has truly used Gunther's game against him. The game that Gunther uses is the game that Punk helped create for this modern era. Let's not forget, it's been less than a month since Gunther defeated one of the all-timers in Goldberg in his retirement match. Goldberg, who had a huge farewell match in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, at Saturday night's main event. But Gunther made sure it wasn't a fairy tale ending and would retain the world championship. Punk headed up to the top, but Gunther with a chop to the hamstring, catching the challenger off guard, and a chop to the back. They call that a 5-star because of all the 5 fingers that leave a mark. And it's the fun that keeps on giving. The pounding of flesh. Gunther has Punk right where he wants him with a shot to the midsection. And Gunther keeping the game plan on task, keeping it on check. Now that he has Punk turned around right where he wants him. Gunther, who was having a hard time finding his footing in this match, but it seems that he's been able to turn things around. Punk is down. But Punk, who's starting to fight back. Punk gets laid out by another chop. I would say those chops are fun, but there's nothing fun about a chop. Look at the chest, the way it just, you feel that everywhere. The mental aspect of this game. Gunther and Punk, who both know the psychological factors of big time matches like these, what it means. But your opponent knows the game as well as you do, if not better. But who is that for? Who knows the game better than the other? Is Punk's physical condition, which is as good as it's ever going to be, is it just not enough? Is the fact that Gunther in better shape, is that what's going to be the upper hand for the ring general in this world title matchup here in our main event? And a shot to the midsection again. And going after the midsection, looking for that abdominal stretch. What a shot to the ribs of Punk. And Punk is writhing in pain, screaming for help. Can he get there? Is all hope lost for the Second City Saint? Or is Punk going to enter survival mode? And he counters. Punk able to counter, but Gunther now trying to counter. They're playing a little ring around the rosy. Meanwhile, Punk has Gunther up on his shoulders. Gunther realizes Punk rolls through from the sleeper that Gunther was trying to attempt, and a cover. Gunther kicks out. But a massive boot lays out Punk. And that kick nailed Punk right between the eyes. And Gunther delivering a response for every action from CM Punk. In just a small time frame, Gunther able to turn things around. Things can change so shortly, so effortlessly. That's how smooth these two are in the ring. Smoother than sandpapered tires. And now these two are chopping it up in the most literal sense of the term in the ring. Leapfrog by Gunther. And another big boot catches Punk off guard, but this time Punk using the ropes to hold himself up. And a spring. Massive boot lays out Punk. And Punk is laid out on the ring apron. And Gunther, the champion, is standing tall. Gunther has Punk where he wants him. And a massive boot. Punk almost fell to the floor, but still managed to stay on. Punk doing everything he can to stick with it. The thing about this is, Punk perhaps was Punk at his peak in 2011, 14 years ago. The summer of Punk. When he left Money in the Bank as champion, he would face Cena at SummerSlam. And how crazy the outcome would be when Punk would stand tall at the end of it all. But Punk is hanging in there with Gunther and showing that he has still got it for spending this much time in the game as Punk has. 25 years Punk has been in this business. And Punk still brings the fight. Every single time he steps foot. It seems that a blood vessel may have been popped open by a chop from Punk. Perhaps Gunther finally getting a full taste of his own medicine. Gunther saying who's the kid, as Punk referred to Gunther as a kid. Punk the veteran of the two. Punk's being told by Gunther he'll never be a world champion. Well, Punk has been world champion. But I don't think that's what Gunther quite meant. Gunther isn't going to let Punk get away from this match as champion. Punk trying to lift Gunther up, but there's just not enough. What a counter by Punk. Punk was looking for that sharpshooter, looking to pay homage to one of his favorites. An idol of his, talking about Bret the Hitman Hart. And a scoop slam by Gunther lays out Punk. Did Punk just use the last bit of energy? And now it's Gunther, who's looking to slap Punk right in the face as he has the sharpshooter locked in the center of the ring. Gunther, center of the ring. Punk has nowhere to go. Punk may be left with no choice but to submit. Can you imagine in this big world title match if Punk had to tap? Punk, who's trying to fight through the pain, trying to drag himself to the bottom rope. Can he do it? And now it's Punk who's able to counter Gunther. And now it's Punk who's got Gunther right where he wants him. And Gunther may tap. Gunther is not immune to submission. We saw it at WrestleMania when Jey Uso made Gunther submit to win the world championship for the first time in his career. Punk looking to win the world championship once again in his career. Punk, of course, a former multi-time world champion. Gunther seemingly rocked by Punk's ability to keep up with him inside the ring. It's been a lot of back and forth. It's been a lot of one moment it's Punk, one moment it's Gunther. Who's got it all? Who's got more left in the tank? Who's got that extra trick up their sleeve to take it all home? On a German suplex, lays out Punk, sending him across the ring. Punk's body was like pulsating there for a second. And CM Punk being mocked by Gunther, who says, there's the best in the world right there, as he's laid out. Gunther, who has held himself to the highest of standards, hence the reason that he's held a championship for 80% of his time here in WWE, which this being the best of the best, I mean, it's an accolade that will probably never be repeated. And now toying with CM Punk. For a man who has talked about being a man like Punk that I'm talking about, the straight edge king, the second city saint. He has been through it all. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do drugs. But what he has said time and time again, he doesn't need drugs. When this sport, when pro wrestling is his drug, it's an addiction that drives him to fight through every day. It's a love. It's a passion. And that's why he's continuing to fight as hard as he has and as he is. Punk and Gunther both trying to get the upper hand, but neither man wanted to go down. But this time it's Punk who gets the drop kick. Gunther gets laid out. And a spinning neck breaker. CM Punk starting to pull out the best hits that could lead to victory. And the running knee in the corner gets caught by Gunther. And a power bomb lays out CM Punk. And Punk kicks at it too. And Punk, who gets put away by Gunther. Gunther, you can see the questioning in the face of Gunther. The look of, this match has gone on quite a bit of time. What's next? Where do I go from here? Perhaps did Gunther underestimate CM Punk? CM Punk doing everything he can to hang on in this match. Punk trying to fight through. Look at this. Triangle, triangle, triangle. Gunther in deep trouble. Let's not forget CM Punk has that MMA background of his. Punk spent a bit of time training in jiu-jitsu and mixed martial arts. But Gunther looking to turn Punk over. But Punk still fighting free, and he does. And a massive chop by Gunther. Oh, that was a rough shot. Sleeper countered. Russian leg sweep. And in the most literal sense, Gunther was swept off his feet, but he's back up first. But the exhaustion weighs heavy in these two who have put each other through the ringer. The 5-time world champion CM Punk has truly brought the fight to Gunther to be his toughest challenge to date for the world championship, but Gunther kicks at it too. But the abuse that these two have endured, who's going to take it all in the end? Punk showing the heart. How wise is it this deep into a match? There is no room for failure whatsoever. No room for error. When you go up to the top and you take a risk this deep into a match with all the exhaustion, with all the pain your body's been through, and that's exactly what can happen. Gunther getting right back up and responding with a thunderous shot to CM Punk. Gunther has Punk, and he drops him. And Gunther heads up high. And Gunther with a splash to retain. But Punk manages to get the shoulder up just before the 3. And Gunther hitting all of it. There was not a bit of that. That was missed. All of that weight of Gunther came crashing down on CM Punk. Yet it still wasn't enough to keep Punk down for the 3. With over 53,000 in attendance, it's one hell of a main event. Gunther, no matter how late it is in a match, always finds a way to talk trash. And a massive clothesline. That's how you get whiplash right there. You know, Punk has always been a man who has been stubborn. And it's gotten himself into trouble everywhere he's kind of been. But right now, that stubbornness to stay down is in his favor. It's that never quit, that never say die attitude. And another clothesline. Punk could be a lariat away from being done for. Is this it? Let's get another look at that. Look at the way the body moves back. CM Punk gets laid out. And a lariat could lay out Punk as Punk tries to lift up Gunther. Does he have it? Oh, but the GTS gets caught. Power bomb. And now Gunther calls for Punk to get up. Gunther waiting for Punk to get up. Punk struggling to pull himself up. I don't know if he knows what's about to hit him. And there's that shotgun drop kick into the corner. And one more will put Punk away. And there it is. That's it. Oh! But Punk kicks at it too. I have no idea how Punk even still has anything left in the tank. Let's get another look at this. The drop kick sending Punk all the way into the corner. Not one, but 2 power bombs. But Punk somehow mustered up enough willpower to get the shoulders up and kick out. But with each pinfall It forces exhaustion. It forces Punk to exert energy. Punk is showing the unshaken mindset, what it takes to be a warrior inside the ring. Maybe it takes warrior mentality to defeat a general. Never say die like an Iron Eagle. Never say die for CM Punk. A thunderous chop. Look at the way he's got Punk all caught up with a boot to the jaw. That could have been true disaster for CM Punk. And now dumps Punk to the floor like he's nothing. Showing no remorse for CM Punk whatsoever. And just launching Punk and dumping him into the ring post area. And breaks the count. Surprisingly, I'm surprised that Gunther didn't just take a count out. I guess Gunther didn't want to hear it from Punk that he decided to take the cheap way out, especially knowing that he is fully capable of defeating a man with the stats, with the career that CM Punk has had. If Gunther can get a couple victories over Randy Orton, perhaps Gunther can get this victory over CM Punk. Oh, Gunther should not have made that error. It didn't work out for Drew McIntyre last year at WrestleMania. That was a familiar view. Is CM Punk? Is it CM Punk that finally has the window of opportunity for a chance to take home the gold? Does he even have enough left to even take this opportunity? Punk doing everything he can to try and get back in it, to try and fight for it. Gunther, the world champion, has been busted open. There is a lot of blood. When was the last time you saw Gunther covered in blood? You don't see that too often. I think I might have just seen CM Punk smiling out of the corner of my eye. This is where we're going to learn what kind of champion Gunther truly is. What kind of general. Does he thrive? Does he thrive when the taste of blood arrives? Or does he fall at the call of the red dye? And now, this is new territory. We've never really seen Gunther get busted open like this. And now Punk looks to fly. And the elbow drop connects. It could be good night for Gunther. A GTS could be in Gunther's future. But Gunther blocked. And still somehow able to get the sleeper. Despite the blood burning in the eyes mixed with the sweat. Gunther's got Punk all caught up. This is not where you want to be if you're CM Punk. But CM Punk still finding a way to fight free. Punk has Gunther up. And a GTS. But Gunther is still standing. Staggering. And now calling it one more time. And now Punk's second one. Is it enough? Punk is your brand new World Heavyweight Champion. After a hard-fought battle, CM Punk survives the ring general who could not handle the pressure. The blood was just too much. CM Punk truly showed what it meant to be a warrior in this match. When the defeat was given to Gunther was the moment that Gunther was dropped on the table and his face was busted open. Not one, but two GTSs would crown the king of this as the Second City Saint once again gets to taste gold. And that is becoming a 6-time World Heavyweight Champion. Punk has had the disappointments hit him. But tonight is not about disappointments. Tonight is about victory. Tonight is about gold. Tonight is about championships. And Punk holds it tightly. In a moment he will never forget. These are the moments you never know if you're going to have, especially this late into CM Punk's career. Gunther, who's a bloody mess. What a moment here at SummerSlam. A moment in time. CM Punk has proven that he is back. And he is back in business. And he is the best in the world. The last time CM Punk was at MetLife Stadium, it didn't quite go his way at WrestleMania 29 when he would have one hell of a fight against The Undertaker. CM Punk's night is unfortunately not over. Seth Rollins looking to seize the opportunity somehow on one knee. Seth Rollins is Mr. Money in the Bank, but is he gonna do this? Look at Rollins' condition. I think Rollins might be in worse condition than CM Punk. Oh, I don't think it's happening. I was gonna say Rollins knows better that this isn't the right time. When the time is right, Rollins has his shot anytime, anywhere. It's a fake out. It's the fake out of a century. Once upon a time, it was a heist of a century a decade ago. Now it's the fake out. Rollins is going to ruin CM Punk's SummerSlam moment. And CM Punk and Seth Rollins Punk was looking for a GTS, but Rollins laying out Punk. Punk gets laid out by the briefcase. And again. And Rollins said he would make sure that he would do everything to make sure Punk would never be world champion again. Rollins is here to ruin the night of CM Punk. It's going to end this way. Punk is absolutely defenseless. And there it is. And just like that, Rollins is once again World Heavyweight Champion. What a massive turn of events tonight here at SummerSlam. The fake out of the century. Rollins, it seemed he had a knee injury and was kind of putting Punk on notice, but the mind games were just that much deeper, and Rollins is always one step ahead. There was a reason he was considered an architect. He's a visionary, a revolutionary, and with the wise man by his side, the vision was clear that Rollins was dead set on making Punk's life misery. Although things didn't go fair for Breakker and Reed tonight, Rollins makes sure that this ends the way that they all wanted it to. In MetLife Stadium, Rollins makes sure that the title comes home where Rollins feels it belongs. Once again, Punk thought he found his way to the top, and it didn't last very long. And what a way to close out SummerSlam as Seth Rollins stands tall. For just a little over 5 minutes, CM Punk was able to call himself world champion. But Rollins had other plans. Rollins ruins the parade. And Rollins, once again, plays it all. And if you play your cards right, you can end up like Rollins, who is World Heavyweight Champion and has absolute power.